We're gonna talk about something specific today, which is drums. Drums. My favorite part of every beat, the drums. Let me pause this real quick. So I wanted to do something a little bit different today. Like, I know usually we just come on here and I'll go through a bunch of records, sample some records, but I do kind of want to do a little bit of education and kind of let you guys in on the kinds of drums that I use, what I go for, how I process my drums. So this is going to be kind of like a follow-up to the drum video that I already have on my channel from, I think, like a year or two ago. So hopefully that this video and this live stream is going to bring you guys some inspiration, some motivation to make some beats this week and going forward. So essentially today what I wanted to talk about is like the two plugins that I use the most for my drums specifically. So this is my personal picks and they're both from Teletone Audio. Now, full disclosure, one of the plugins from Teletone Audio I did pay for with my own money. The other plugin, which is their newer one, they did send to me, so I would just want to be completely upfront. That has no bearing on my thoughts of the plugins. I would have bought the second one, to be honest, but they just sent it to me because they're a fan of the content. They didn't ask me to make this video. I'm just kind of doing this to spread a little bit of education and, like I said, some motivation, inspiration for other producers out there that are always kind of struggling with drums, or just maybe you have too many or not enough drum kits. And hopefully these two plugins that I'm going to talk about today will kind of give you a little bit of relief. Let me open up Machine. Let's go ahead and get it started here. The two plugins we're going to talk about while I'm getting Machine loaded up here is Tympo, which is spelled T-Y-M-P-O from Teletone Audio. And then, of course, their newest drum plugin, which is called Soulfy, S-O-U-L-F-I. So I did pay for Tympo out of pocket with my own money. Soulfy was sent to me by Teletone Audio, so shout out to the good folks over at Teletone. Again, this is not a paid sponsorship. I'm literally just doing this out of the kindness of my heart. I just wanted to spread the information, hopefully hook you guys up with some knowledge that'll help you in your music production journey. So it's been maybe like 6 months since I've like actually programmed drums by going through like an actual drum kit that I've purchased. You know, there's a bunch of good ones that I had. You know, we got Vanderslice's kits. The Black Milk kit is really good. I have a few of the Jake 1 Snare Jordan kits. I have some Marco Polo Pad Thai kits. The Polyphonic Music Library, they have the Tape Break series. I have quite a few of those. Another really good series of kits that I have is from AJ Hall. I don't know if you guys have heard of AJ Hall, but some of the best breaks in the business. So a lot of really dope kits that I have, but just using Teletone Audio's Tympo and Soulfy has just made the process of selecting drums, tuning drums, programming drums easier and a little bit more streamlined. So that's why I wanted to go over that stuff today. All right, so here we go. This right here, this is Tympo. This is the first plugin I want to talk about here. So this is made by Teletone Audio. As you can see, it's got quite a few features up here. So you have a bunch of knobs, like you have the pitch wheel, and then they have like, you know, the different filters here. You can stretch, focus, chaos, and all that stuff. Mod wheels, velocity, feel, spread, tune. I don't really mess with these too much. I just kind of mess with the raw drum sounds. But you can also add some distress. You can add decade. It kind of gives it like a different vibe. So like it can make it sound like brighter and more of like a pop feel in the mix. Or if you like turn the decade down, it'll do more of like a dusty vintage sound. You know what I'm saying? So like you can go all the way up to like have it bright and sparkly like some pop records, or you can go all the way down here to have it super dusty or grimy, depending on what feel you're going for. Effects, obviously, you know, you have your standard effects: flanger, saturation, phaser, slap, and plate. Room, you can add some room tone if you want to your drums. You can mess with the swing, and then you can add some noise as well to it if you're trying to make it sound a little bit more vintage. And then this is the main part right here that I'm going to talk about. So you have your kit selection and then beat selection here too. So if you don't want to program your own drums, they do actually have like patterns already loaded in. So you can like, you know, have different patterns in here. And then if you go to Beat Maker, you can play. They have different patterns. So this is like High School Band, Hyped Up. You know what I'm saying? So I don't really use that part, but you might find some utility in that if you're trying to just look for some inspiration as far as like coming up with a drum pattern, or you just, you know, if you just need like a starting point, you can always go in here, and it's kind of like FL Studio or whatever. You can move things around, you can mess with the velocity, you can add or subtract hits and stuff like that. So it's kind of like a step sampler in that sense. If we go back here to the main home screen of Tympo, this is where you're going to find all your different kits right here. So you have your factory kits, which is what it comes with, and then you have user kits. So you can mix and match your own, the drums that are in this plugin, and you can make your own kits. So what we're going to do though is we're going to go into the factory kit so I could just kind of show you. And all of these kits are different. So they all have like different kicks, different snares, hi-hats, toms, ride cymbals, crash cymbals, and then percussion sounds. Although the percussion sounds are all the same throughout every kit, things that are going to be different with every kit are these right here: kick, snare, hi-hat, tom 1, tom 2, ride, and crash cymbal. All right, so if you go through these kits right here, what you're going to do is you're going to set your sampler to keyboard, and you want to start on the note C1, and it goes up in a chromatic scale. So C1 is your kick drum. C sharp 1 is your rim shot. Then you have a snare. Then you have a snare roll, another snare, tom, hi-hat, tom roll, secondary hi-hat. Then you have your other tom, open hi-hat. Then you have another tom roll. And right here is another open hi-hat. This is fully open. This is slightly open. And the cool thing about with the hi-hats too, like open hi-hats, they get choked out by the close hi-hat. So if you do like you can get those like authentic sounding close and open hi-hats. So you go. So the hi-hats will always choke each other out, just like in a real drum kit. Then you have your crash cymbal right here. You have a foot pedal for the hi-hat. This is the foot pedal. And then you have your ride cymbal right here. Essentially, what I'm going through right now, all of these features are also in Soulfy. It's just Soulfy has more kits, more sounds, and then there's actually a little bit more controls too that they give you. With that being said, so you have the different kits, right? The different kits have all their own unique sounds. So this one's the heavy set. Actually, let me reset this. This is what heavy set sounds like for real. So the cool thing about this too is like if you go to the kit selection, right? Let's say you like everything in the kit except for a specific sound. So let's just go, let me go uptight because I really like the uptight kit. So I like the snare, right? But maybe I'm not a fan of the kick. So maybe if I want to change the kick, it comes with this part right here. You can go and scroll through all of the different kicks. So you can mix and match all of these different kits, right? So this one's the Leedy and Ludwig 50s 22-inch. We can go with one with the pillow, plate, ringy, room, tape. This one's a dead kick, fat snap, nasty. Ooh, I like this one. So if I wanted to use the Ludwig 60s Duco 22-inch, you can kind of scroll through and cycle through the different sounds. And, you know, like I said, you can build your own kit as well. And then you could save that. So I like to tune my kicks down a little bit. And then obviously you can mess with the volume, the pan, the width. You could add room tone. I'm going to actually increase the low end a little bit here and then turn down some of the high end. There we go. You know, I modified the kick. The snare, I might add a little bit of high end to the snare. Make it a little bit brighter, and then I might tune it up a little bit. And then I'll tighten it too. So it's not so much slap on the snare. So What I like to use Tympo for is if I need like a live or realistic sounding drum kit, I tend to use Tympo a lot for that. So if I'm doing some like R&B or neo soul, or even if I'm trying to make like some break style boom bap, you know what I'm saying? Like I tend to use Tympo for that. And I'll go through some examples of some beats that I've made using Tympo as well. And then we'll also make a beat using Tympo. So essentially, again, you can modify each and every one of these sounds, everything from the hi-hat, the tom, all the way down the line to the perks. I don't really use the perks too much. What we're going to do is we're going to go through, we're going to make a beat using Tympo now. All right, so we could just do it from scratch just to kind of save time, just so you guys can kind of see what the workflow is within Tympo. So let me see, let me program something real quick. So what I want to do now that I have my drums kind of laid out, is I'm going to go through and kind of tune my drums a little bit. I'm going to turn my snare tune down a little bit. Maybe I'll go for a lower tone on the snare. Tighten it up a little bit more. All right, and then one thing I like to do as well, especially with Tympo, because the drums are mixed really low, I like to throw a little bit of compression on the drums just to kind of beef them up a little bit. So I use and I mentioned this in my other drum video, but I use a free compressor on my drums called Rough Rider, and that free compressor, it's like really good on your drum bus. I only use it for my drums. It's absolutely free, and it's Rough Rider, exactly how it sounds, ROUGH. And then Rider is RIDER. So we're gonna do we're gonna title this beat Tympo Demo. So just to show you guys the difference, right? This is with no processing other than throwing a compressor on it. Here's no compressor. So this is with no compressor right here. And this is with the compressor. I haven't touched any volume knob or anything, but it's so good on the drum bus. And that's a little secret sauce for y'all, man. A little secret sauce for the homies. There you go. All right, so we got that. Let me get a bass. You know what? Let's do retrograde bass. Since we're on Teletone audio, let's use Teletone. I'm going to use Jackson 5 bass. This plugin is fantastic if you're really trying to go for that vintage, fuzzy, kind of like psych rock, prog rock kind of sound on your bass track. And it has tons of different like super dope presets and patches in there. So just like with the Tympo drums, retrograde bass starts on C1. You can go an octave up. You know what I'm saying? So that's just the chromatic. We're gonna use a minor key, and let's do E flat minor. What I'm gonna do with the bass line, we're gonna add a little bit of juice to the bass line by using JJP, which is a plugin from Waves, and it's called JJP Bass. And I'm going to use the mono version of this plugin because I like my bass to kind of sit in the middle. All right, so we have that. I like that little simple bass line, nothing too crazy. What I'm going to do here is I'm going to open up, this is a free plugin actually that you guys could use if you need some sounds. So there's this Labs plugin by Spitfire Audio. I'll show you guys what it looks like right here. Again, this is not sponsored or anything, you know, it's a free plugin. They have a bunch of free patches and kits that you can download, but this is a really cool, useful plugin that you can use for melodies and keys and stuff. They even have like ambiance stuff. We're gonna go look through some keys or maybe even some mallet instruments. I think I found it. Glockenspiel. Let's go. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to throw an imager on the Glockenspiel just to kind of widen it up. And then I'm going to detune it a little bit using a tape saturator, which I'll show you guys in just a second. This is just my own personal flavor. You know what I'm saying? Like, you guys could do whatever you want with these drums. The main focus is the drums. You know what I mean? But I'm just trying to make a full beat so you guys can see what's good, you know? So I'm going to use J37 as the tape saturator. See, we got a little bit of warping, the tape warp. The volume on the Glockenspiel a little bit, because then we're gonna do our main melody. We'll use Vespertone because I want to use some Rhodes. So let me look for the Rhodes here. 1 second. This is more like soulful kind of stuff, you know what I mean? So let's open up Vespertone. This is also from Teletone Audio. This is kind of cool plugin. If you need Rhodes or vibraphones or Celeste. I gotta fix this. I'm gonna go up an octave. We got too muddy on the low end. So what I'm gonna do here is I'm also gonna throw that J37. I'm gonna warp the keys as well. And then we're gonna do some processing within the Teletone Audio plugin as well. So give me 1 second, y'all. I just want to warp this a little bit just to kind of match with the Glockenspiel. All right, so let's solo these out real quick. WEC in the house. Alright, so that's pretty much the use that I would have for something like Tympo. If I want more kind of like live sounding drums, I tend to go with Tympo. If you want to get extra fancy with it, you could do you could add some RC20 to kind of dusty it up, add a little bit of fuzz. I'll show you some shit that I made, some other beats that I've made, because you could do boom bap with this as well. So I made this beat from scratch as well using Tympo drums. It's a remix of Ice Spice.
You thought I was feeling you? That nigga a munch. Nigga eat it, he ate it for lunch. Bitch on my body, I get what I want. Like you thought I was feeling you? That nigga a munch. Nigga eat it, he ate it for lunch. Bitch on my body, I get what I want. Like
this one was also using with a sample, but I also used Tympo for this beat.
I know that I was wrong.
And now we're going to go into Soulfy. And what you guys are going to see, Soulfy, essentially it's the same, just they have more updated sounds, a couple more knobs that you can mess with. Again, this is also from Teletone Audio. Works pretty much exactly the same. You'll see, like when I open it up, you'll see the layout and everything is pretty much identical. Just different colors and shit. We got Soulfy right here. Everything is pretty much the same. I have like some updated effects and shit like that on here, but we can go through some of the kits as well. This has been my go-to lately. Just I feel like Soulfy is probably the plugin that I use more often than not for just raw boom bap. Like I feel like if you're, as the name implies, if you're trying to do like lo-fi or straight up boom bap kind of stuff, I feel like this is the plugin that you would get. If I had to recommend one over the other, if you're looking for more live sounds and you want to like kind of make your own breaks using a plugin, I would go with Tympo. If you're trying to just make beats and have like a one-stop shop for boom bap specifically, I would say Soulfy is the way to go. So same thing, y'all. Like you saw the, you know, it's got the pitch wheel, the mod wheel here. You got the different effects dials down here. Beatmaker obviously has that as well. So if you guys need some inspiration for like drum patterns or programming, you could use that. For this one, let's go 88 BPM for this one. We're gonna go more like boom bap style for this shit. So kit selection, the way that it's laid out is exactly the same. It also starts on your keyboard at C1, and it's the same layout too. So you have your kick, rim shot. There's your snare roll, other snare. There's a tom, hi-hat. So this is one kit. And then again, same thing. You can go through all of the different kits right here. I think this one has 42 and a Tympo has 30 if I'm not mistaken. So this one, let me see. This one has 41. So 41 kits on Soulfy and then 30 kits on Tympo. So essentially, if you get both, that's essentially like 71 different drum kits that you have right there. And again, every single sound is modifiable. You can process it. You can mess with the volume, the tune, the pan, the reverb, width. You can tighten, add some compression. You can mess with EQ here, so you can get your lows, your mids, and your highs. All right, so what we're gonna do, we're gonna make a beat with Soulfy. We're gonna do more of like a boom bap style kind of beat. So let's go through some of these kits. What I like to do is I like to go through the kits by snare. I'm actually gonna turn this reverb down a little bit. So this one's Lil Knock. I'm gonna go up. So we're gonna go sneaky. It's more of like a snappy type of snare. This one's kind of cool. This is like a very Dilla-esque kind of drum kit. Yeah, I like this. I like this snare right here. I'm gonna tighten it up just a little bit more. I think the tune is good. Everything's good. The kick, I'm gonna tune it down, tighten it up more. There we go. Let me change the hi-hats a little bit. Ooh, I like this. So these hi-hats, I really like very crispy, sizzly hi-hats. This is it right here. Woo! I like that. So we're gonna keep that. So another thing too, I don't really quantize my drums personally. I don't care if other people do, but I just find that I like to have my natural swing on my drums. All right, let me see. I think I could add some I think a tambourine would be kind of a cool texture to add on here. Woo! DJ baby brother, what up? Yeah, you hear that? All right, so now what we're gonna do, let's add some bass. For this one, I'm gonna go Rickenbacker. I'm gonna use a Rickenbacker bass. We're trying to make like some classic boom bap shit. Ooh, we can go with this. Oh, I like this. Let's go with the classic Rickenbacker. This is the palm muted Rickenbacker sound right here. So it's just a standard patch that they have. Woo! Let me add some JJP on this bass line real quick. I'm gonna catch up with chat in just a second, y'all. Give me 1 sec. Shut up. All right. Woo! Turn that down a little bit. It goes nice with the beat though. Friggin' now Sharp's got me thinking, because Sharp said that notification went with the beat, so maybe we could throw some you know what, let's fuck with Vespertone, man. Let's throw some maybe some Celeste keys on there. This is another Teletone audio. I feel like you guys might think I'm sponsored by Teletone Audio, but I'm just a fan of their shit, man. They have some really good plugins, so. Let's lower this a little bit. I'm gonna add some J37 to it too. just to add a little bit of tape saturation. Gives it a little texture, you know. Got that low end. Yeah, I like that. Keep it simple, bro. There you have it. Fucking the 2 drum kits that I use pretty much on all my beats lately. You got Tympo and you got Soulfy. Alright. Tympo, again, I use that more for like live sound, if I need something more live sounding or realistic sounding. And then Soulfy I use for like everything else, boom bap. If I need that gritty shit, I use Soulfy. So needed this inspiration. I need to cook up when I get home from work now. Hey, I appreciate that soon. That's what I'm here for. That's what I'm trying to do with this channel, man. I'm trying to educate, entertain, inspire, build a community. You know what I mean? There's too many people on YouTube that's talking about music and all this, doing reviews of shit, but not really showing like the actual application of it. So trying to not really be, I don't want to do reviews. I just want to show you guys the shit that I use personally for my beats, and hopefully it can help you guys with your beats. If you guys want to follow me on SoyIsREAL on Instagram, I post all of my upcoming shows and shit on there. So, or you can go to SoyIsREAL.com. That has all my links. Hold on, I fucking typed that in wrong. SoyIsREAL.com has all my links to everything. And then of course, please don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel. It does help us out a lot. We're trying to grow this channel and grow this community. So let me catch up with chat here. Sharif Amir, peace and love. Hey, no worries, Sharif. Appreciate you for even pulling up, man. Again, don't forget to like and subscribe. Hit the notification bell so you guys get notified when I go live or whenever I post a new video. Follow me on Instagram. If you guys are on Red Note, I'm on Red Note under SoyIsREAL as well, since TikTok is going away. What else am I on? Blue Sky, SoyIsREAL. SoyIsREAL on everything. Follow me. I'll follow y'all back. But yeah, that's going to be it for me today. I got to go out and pick up some food for the family. So, peace and love. Thank you for tuning in. And I hope you guys have a safe afternoon. Peace, peace.